Alright, picture quality looks pretty good. Hopefully my phone doesn't overheat on me. Get started on this. Looked outside and I was like, oh, it stopped raining. Like, I think it stopped an hour ago and everything's kind of drying up. Alright, I do need a trash bag. Put this right, all this right here. So we're going with gun stock for the ceiling. So I'm just gonna do gun stock, I think. It makes sense. I don't have much walnut left over, unfortunately. All right, let's get this over with. I only have to do 4 of these. And make sure you guys got the best camera angle. That should work. Hopefully these stupid things don't keep breaking on me. I don't know why this stainer is so watery. Why is this so watery? Look how watery this is. This isn't like this the last time I put this on. This is crazy watery. Well, that's okay. That means it'll be a lighter color. What I wanted was a lighter color. Still, that's crazy how watery this is. Yeah, this is crazy watery. It's alright. Hopefully it doesn't rain tonight because I have to keep these outside. If it rains, I'm screwed. It's gonna ruin all of this. Well, I guess it's fine. It's coming out lighter than I want it to be. That looks good. Sorry, I lied. I decided to do this now, so that way I can do my game stream later uninterrupted. I wanted to do this when it was dark out, but there's just a lot of bugs at this time. As long as they don't get stuck to my wood, we're good. ceiling panels are gonna look nice. I like this coat that I got on here. Not crazy dark. Can deal with this. I think that's perfect. All right. I think this piece is done. Oh, I gotta do this side real quick. Oh yeah, that's gonna look nice. Oh, if I gotta do a second coat tomorrow night, then I'll do a second coat. Oh wait, not tomorrow night, I'll be camping. I guess Tuesday night? I have to do a second coat, I'll do one. Okay, we'll just set that there. It's gonna drip down, strain, let gravity do the rest. Alright, I have not pre-cut any of these pieces, so whenever I do end up putting this in the van, I'm gonna have to stain the edge of this that's cut. Which when I do my, what do you call it? My touch-up staining in the van in a week, then I'll do that. Look how long this is. These are the 10-foot, or I'm sorry, these are the 12-foot ones. And the ones that I got previously, which I have one in the garage, is the 8-foot ones. So these are much larger and longer. And I think it's 10 feet is what I need to run the length of my ceiling. Little over 10 feet, like 10.5 feet. Actually, I can show you guys real quick what I cut off of the other one. So they're 12 feet, right? This is the amount that ended up getting cut off to fit on the roof. So it's a pretty long roof if you think about it. I got a long van. So I'll end up using that piece for shelving. I'm saving every piece of scrap wood that I have, so at the end when I want to make my shelving for storage and stuff, I'll have all the scrap wood that I can turn into shelves, and I don't have to go buy any. Save some money that way. So I gotta do this 3 more times on these long gigantic pieces. And do the gaps and the cracks first. And then I'll push all the excess stainer out on top. Okay, now I'm gonna do this part. Hey, what's up, Vladimir Putin? You changed your profile pic. I just noticed that. This is actually kind of cool. I like this POV camera at this angle because I could actually see my screen. Well, I could see half of my screen. But I could see the half with the comments at least. You have a rag to wipe it down? Yeah, I do. But what I'm doing instead is I'm letting gravity do its thing and let it slide all the way down to the ground. And then when it's done tomorrow, I'll take a rag and wipe the excess off of it like I did with the desk. I don't like to wipe it this early because I like to keep as much of it on there as I can to soak in. Because I noticed when I did that with the countertop, it pulled the stain off way too early. or like the extra stain. I just kind of pulled it right off of it. But these sponges seem to work pretty well. They just break too easily. I gotta do this crack right here. It's a little rough. But this stainer tonight is just really watery. It's a lot watery. It's a new can I just opened. Maybe that's why. But I stirred it really good and I shook it. I shook the can really good too before I opened it. Maybe because it was in my van in the heat for a few days, so maybe the heat made it like this. I don't know. I mean, it'll work. It's coming out a lighter gun stock color. That's what I wanted it to be, lighter. I'll be honest though, if I had more of that walnut stainer, I totally would have stained the roof walnut color, but there's only enough walnut stainer left to touch up the cabinet when I need to. I'm almost out of it. And I have all this gun stock left. I paid all this money for these stainers, so I'm trying to use as much of it as I can. The sponge dabs, yeah. Well, if I try and go and run it on the edge, for whatever reason, it tries to rip my sponge off. Rips my sponge off on me. Alright, now I gotta do the sides. And then I gotta do the groove where the tongue goes, so that way you don't see the raw wood color. This I gotta kind of slide like a credit card. I think this will be fine. Keep in mind, it's going to be on the ceiling, so this will see the least amount of sunlight than anything else in the van. So I decided to do this before I did my Ready or Not stream, because I figured I'm going to get too into the game to want to come out here and do this, so I was like, I better go do. It stopped raining and didn't rain for like an hour or so, so I better go out there and get this done so these can dry for a day. We'll be putting these in Tuesday or Wednesday, so they'll be dry by then. Well, they do get darker as they dry. Look at that one. That one's now darker than it was. Hey, what's up, Opal? Hey, Lola, nice to see you. Long time no see. Alright, this one's done for now. We'll see how it turns out when it dries. I'm going to let gravity drip off the excess stainer. We'll put this next to this one. Oh, wow. Look at the height difference. Can I tilt my camera? Look at the height difference. One I cut already, the other I didn't. It's wild. These are gigantic long pieces of wood. Oh, wait a second. I just realized something. These were a lot longer. These were actually even longer. I did have these cut because they had to cut them so they would fit in my van when I left Home Depot. Look. So these 4 pieces of panel right here, not these. Let me put that up there. These 4 pieces of panel right here came from these. So these were actually even longer. Look at this. With that added on it. Look how long that is. I had them cut it because I knew I wasn't going to need the full 12 feet to go in the van. So I had them cut. Is that 2 feet off? I had them, that's right, I had them make these into 10 feet pieces because I could slide the 10 feet piece into my van, but the 12 foot was too long. I would have to leave my doors open or stick them up in my windshield, and I didn't want to do that. So I have these extra pieces that were cut. I'm going to use these for the walls probably and shelving. That's wild how long these pieces were, but it was only $10.92 per piece. But unfortunately I need 8 or 9 of these to do the roof, and I could only afford to get 4 of them because I had to buy other stuff there too. I knew I wasn't going to finish the roof up this week, so there was no point in buying all of them. They're just going to take up space in the garage and be sitting there till I put them in. Pretty much just been buying stuff as I needed it. This piece is a little bit more rough for whatever reason. Piece got beat up. Hey, what's up, Grant? Nice to see everybody. I'm surprised you people even seen that I was live. I knew I was out of notifications. Usually we got like 30 people in here or whatever. We probably only have like 4 or 5 people. The only time people see the streams without notifications is if I'm live longer than an hour. People just happen to scroll through and see it. Yeah, these pieces are much longer. I think I'm going to go ahead and stain those other 4 pieces, but I'm going to go with the walnut for those. I think I got enough walnut to stain those other pieces. And I'll tell you guys why, because I'm thinking about using those 4 pieces actually to close up the siding of the bed when the time comes for that. It's better than the black stainer. I have that black stainer. I haven't even really used it other than the top and front of the bed. I just didn't really like how it came out, if I'm being frank with you all. I mean, I got to finish the top of the bed now with the black because I started it. And you can't go over black with something like this, so I think I'm going to be very limited on what I use that black for. I might stain the water cooler cabinet with the black, maybe. I don't know how I'm getting that out of there with the water full. I think those 4 pieces I might do with the walnut. pretty rough right in here. It's coming out pretty good, I think. When I get done with this piece, we'll go in the van real quick and check out the front cabinet panel pieces I put in earlier. See how those come out. Because I tried using liquid nails to bind the panels together, and I don't know if liquid nails is really that powerful or not. I've never really used it other than I think maybe for the ceiling panels or the ceiling or floor insulation I put in, but I didn't really get to see how it held it together. So we'll see. But I think that walnut wood came out really good in there. Or the walnut stain. Alright, we're gonna hang this one up. Then I only have one more of these I gotta do. It's pretty quick. The staining's pretty quick. It's the oh damn. It's the drying that is the tricky part, and hoping it doesn't rain. The drying is what sucks. Drying takes the longest. So let's see how this came out. So I put this trim piece on here, and see it matches the countertop a little bit. And then over here, let's see. Oh yeah, all right, liquid nails is working. Looks like liquid nails is working nice and good. I'm gonna leave this clamp though overnight, but you can see I started closing my cabinet off on this side, and then right here in the middle, you can see I'll have room for my toilet to slide all the way out. In between the desk, you see I have plenty of space. And how it's gonna work is I'll sit on the toilet either facing that way or this way if I gotta sit on it. And when I'm done with it, it just slides back under, and the sliding cabinet door will be right here. So just either open this way or that way. And then I left a little gap here because I'm gonna do a trim piece down the corner. So that will look really nice. And that's done. But I gotta do, looks like 1.5 pieces going all the way down. This is a piece that broke in half on me today, so you know what? I bet you I could actually clean this up and do a straight line, and it'll be enough to use, because you can see, I put one more piece in here, I'm gonna end up needing a very small little trim piece. So I could actually not let that go to waste and just use it, because the tongue part of it is actually good. But that's coming out really nice, this trim piece. And then right under here, this lip right here, under the cabinet, see all this? How that lips in? I'm doing LED strip lights facing towards the floor right here, all the way down the cabinets. Those LED lights are going to look real nice. And it'll kind of illuminate the front of the cabinets too, having that sliding rolling barn door on there and all the other stuff. Only marine sealant? No, I actually use liquid nails for once. That marine sealant is really expensive, and unless I'm trying to stop water or hold on heavy stuff, I don't really need marine sealant. I got a fresh bottle of it for the wall paneling, and then I actually got to do a dab under the desk at a point that I couldn't screw into that I want to connect. But I also got this stuff for when I do the insulation on my ceiling, any extra gaps or stuff. I got Big Gap spray foam, and then I got a regular can of spray foam too. So I got lots of tools at my expense this week. Oh, here's the, so I got to do this walnut color, but here's the trim piece for the back of the countertop. We got to do this tonight too. So that's going to go on the back of the cabinet. It's going to match the countertop, and we'll seal it in with like a clear Gorilla sealant stuff. This might actually, I might do marine sealant on this. It's going wood to wood. Or maybe on the back of it. Or no, I don't want to do anything on the back because I don't want to mess up my panel wood on the wall. But we're just going to connect this to the cabinets with marine sealant on the bottom, and then a clear coat of caulking down the edges, so that way if I spill anything and it drips back, it won't go under this. So we'll stain that with the walnut color once I finish the this last panel here. This is getting the gun stock. So I got to do 4 or 5 more of these for the ceiling, and I only was able to buy 4 of them this week, which is okay. Anyways, all right. Yeah, so once I'm done and I got things almost sealed up, I'm planning on going through a spray foam and filling in all the gaps. Anything that's gappy is going to get filled in. I don't like that this is broken like that, or split. Well, I guess it's alright, it gives it character. It's not split from the other side, so I guess it gives it character. Some of this is going to end up getting cut to fit around the exhaust fan anyways, so who knows, maybe that place will end up getting cut. Yeah, it's split here too. This, I didn't do a very good job looking at this piece of wood here when I bought it. I didn't even notice that. They had a lot of broken ones that you had to pick through. I will say, out of the broken ones that they had, this one's definitely one of the better pieces. I don't know how their wood gets all messed up like that. It just sits there. There's going to be a lot of excess stainer that's going to drip off of this piece. I put way too much stainer on here. It's alright. Just trying to make sure I got everywhere on it. Alright, now I got to do, I'm going to go over to the top real quick so that way the sponge can absorb some of the stainer. And I got to do the credit card slip thing in the groove. go. Plenty of stain left on this thing. I actually really like the gun stock. I think that was a excellent choice for like the walls and the roof. Financially, it just isn't really worth it for me to buy a whole nother can of walnut just to do the roof, especially when I have a full can of gun stock. Like, it's not that big of a deal to me, you know, to change the to have the roof look different than the walls. But I think because the gun stock is such a mild stain that it works to have everything the same. Like, it doesn't look stupid or anything, I don't think. I think it'll look all right. I think it'll look just fine, especially when I do like my LED lights in it and everything. The lighting at night. Have a nice color to it. I'm trying to get as detailed as I can, getting even in between the grooves, so that way if there's like a little mini chip of wood missing, you don't just see the raw wood color through in between the crack. Trying to make sure everything looks nice and closed up here. There's no point in staining the backs of them because you really don't see the backs at all. You're just going to make sure the ends are stained. Otherwise, you will see like the end pieces in certain places. Like over here, make sure these are all nice and touched up. Even though I'm going to end up cutting this, so I'm going to have to do this again, but because I don't know which side I'm cutting yet, I'll do both of them. And then when it's done, and I get it up on the wall, I just got to hit it with the sponge in there, touch up the end piece. That looks nice. It's coming out good. Definitely don't need to put more stain on this one. This one got plenty of stainer. Just got to smooth it out now. It's crazy watching this go from that like white looking wood color to this in real time. It's crazy to watch. All right, out of here, flies. Let's go ahead and prop this one up. Let gravity do its thing. Oh, I keep bumping this on the basketball hoop. This thing's so tall. All right, we'll lean this one up against these two pieces. There we go. And we'll let gravity do its thing. All right, so now what I need to do is wipe my hands off slightly. So actually I am not going to stain those right now because I don't know what I'm using them for yet. I don't know if I'm going to use them in the back window. I don't know if they're long enough. I don't know if I'm going to turn them into shelves for the cabinets underneath. I don't know if, you know, they're going to be walnut or they're going to end up being gun stock or black. Maybe they end up under the bed to section. I don't know yet. So I'm just going to leave those raw. Because I still have a 8-foot piece of gun stock stained already in that side of the garage, along with another half piece of gun stock stain right there. So I got plenty of gun stock wood already stained, so there's not really any point in staining more right now. That's what I'm saying. I might be able to use it for something else, and I'll leave my options open. Because obviously if I put it under the cabinets, I'm going to want to make it that color. Let's throw that sponge down there. We're done with that one for now. And put this back. These gloves are so much easier to use to stain than those stupid plastic gloves. I'm pretty sure like all I have to do is rinse them off and the stain will come right off of them. Seal this back up. that done. Now we'll do this. I'm just gonna shake this up. Yeah, there's not really much left in there. I'll be shocked if I can even finish the rest of this, but we'll see. Should have enough to do this little piece of wood here. But I'm doing walnut because this is going on top of the cabinet. This is the back trim wall piece. I gotta kind of tilt this to get this on here. So I'll go ahead and apply this to this. Oh, look at that. Look at that walnut color. Almost a burgundy on this piece of wood. This trim piece is gonna look nice as hell once I get it on there. I'm telling you guys, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know what I'm doing. Don't know what I'm doing, but I know exactly what I'm doing at the same time. Kind of. Let's get that tag off of here. Well, this is gonna get cut down because obviously this is way too long for my cabinets. And we'll cut this side down. That's crazy. Look how thick that is. Holy shit. I really like this walnut. I really like it. I like it more than the gun stock. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I had a whole can of this. It's called special walnut. It's special. Special like me. So it would make sense to use this. Yeah, this is going to be a nice little trim piece to add to that cabinet. Countertop. But it does serve a function. It's not just for looks. It serves the function of keeping any kind of liquids or fluids from rolling behind the cabinet and getting into anything. There is a reason for this. I didn't just randomly say, oh, I'm going to put a trim piece back here. I'm not that smart. Oh no, I did it again! Except reverse. Fuck. Look. Quick, I need a towel. I don't have any towels. This is the problem. I don't have anything. Fuck, I did that again. I did that last week. I think I can get it off. If I wipe it quick enough, I should be able to get it off. Because there's already a layer of gun stock on there. It's not dry yet, so it's not going to stick to the wood yet. Fuck. God. I don't have enough space here, man. No room. Stupid ass sponges fucking splatter everywhere. I'm not even doing it hard or anything. I'm like trying to do it on an angle and keep it from getting on anything. Fucking shitty. Maybe I should just stain one color at a time. I don't know. Fucking obnoxious, dude. So annoying. I got it off of it. There might be a little smudge or smear, but you're not going to see it when it dries. That is so annoying. Look, I'm not even doing it hard. This is all I'm doing. And it went like, it acted like it was tsunami of stainer that direction. It's crazy. Leave my gun stock wood planks alone, stupid sponge. Leave it be. You gotta be very careful going up this way. I don't want to have to wipe that again. Very slowly. And in fact, maybe if I go this way with it. At the end. end of it. Make sure I got this end. Let's flip it over real quick, make sure I got everything. And let's go one more time on this side. The excess of it. I'm not going to completely be able to get this entire thing evened out. There's way too much stainer on here. Gravity's just going to have to do its thing. Yeah, apparently I'm out of pink cloths. I thought I had one in the back of my van, but I don't. So now I got to find a place to put this away from there. There, and lean it right here. Actually, that should work. That's not going to hurt anything there. Well, that looks nice, that trim piece. I think that will come out good. You know what? Fuck it. Oh shit, this is all going to fall off. You know what? Let's go ahead and stain the wood I'm using for my door. Because it is going to be the walnut color. I'm using this original countertop here as the wood for my door. And already got black stainer on it, but that's okay. I think the walnut is dark enough to... Why the hell would they put a sticker on this? Why do they do dumb shit like this? That's fine. This will be the back. We'll start on the back. I think I got enough stainer here to do this whole thing. Yeah, let's go ahead and stain. I'm doing front and back on this, but it's going to get cut down and turned into a door. It's a 1/4 inch piece of countertop wood here. And then I'm going to use the other half of it, or, you know, I'm going to cut a nice piece and I'm going to rough up the edges like I did my desk. And then I'm going to seal it in beeswax. And it's going to be my cutting board. I'm going to create my own cutting board. And it's going to come from this material right here. Buy some beeswax and seal it up real nice. Rough up the edges with the jigsaw, make it look all jagged and crazy looking, like a slab of wood I just grabbed out of the forest. It'll come out real nice. Look at that, that's coming out pretty good. Yeah, this walnut is unmatched. It is unmatched when it comes to staining, I think, this darker color. I'm just gonna go right over the sticker, it doesn't matter. No one's gonna see it anyways. I'm not gonna deal with trying to peel that off to not see it anyways. Fuck it. Please don't do that. Alright, I am almost out of walnut. And this is only the back, because you might see parts of the back. That piece over there is going to get cut down with the sticker on it. And all. Let's do the edges. Get the edges done. Oh yeah. Look at that. So all the sides, and we'll flip it over and we'll do the top part of it, which will be the front on everything. The reason I'm staining both sides right now is because the cutting board is going, you will see the back side of the cutting board, but I'll probably end up cutting this piece off to narrow it down. So you're not going to see much of it. But I got a very special thing I'm going to do before I put the beeswax on it. I'm going to, you know that extra sticker, my Van House Life sticker that I have? I need to stick it right in the center of my cutting board. And then I'm going to take that nice beeswax and I'm going to seal that into it. That sticker. And I'll be cutting on my van life logo in some of my videos. But half of this is going to be a door, and then the other half of the material, actually I take that back, about 3/4 of this is going to be the door, and then the other 25% of it is going to be turned into a cutting board. So we'll cut down the cutting board. So I haven't cut it in half yet because I haven't gotten a specific measurement of how big the door is going to be. However, I do have the hinges, and now that I put that trim piece on, I am able to put the door over where the bathroom's going to be. So I'll probably do that tomorrow when Gerald's here. Make sure I do it right. Make sure we put it in right. However, for the door anyways, I need to go to Lowe's because they sell this decorative aluminum metal and gold metal stuff with the cool designs in it. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to get a piece of that decorative metal. People use it for lamps and whatever. I wanted to do a cage in the middle of the door and glue it to the door, and then do a couple very thin trim pieces around it. So in the center of the door, it'll be a nice design, like with aluminum or gunmetal stain or whatever it is. They had a piece there for like 24 bucks. And it's a very small piece. It's very narrow. It's not big at all. But just big enough for the center of the door to make it look cool. So this will be the front because it's in much better condition. And I should have just enough stainer in here to finish this. If not, I will be buying a whole new can of this. Well, actually, I'm probably gonna have to buy, I think I could get a small can of it, not one of these big cans. I think they sell the small cans for this. I'm gonna need it for the shelves. I am gonna need more. But a little goes a long way, so let's see if we'll be able to finish the top of this. When it dries, we'll put epoxy on it first. Actually, I'll cut it first, whatever I need for the door, then I'll put epoxy on it, because I don't think I could put epoxy and then beeswax on the top of the epoxy. Like, it either has to be one or the other. So for the cutting board, oh, that's right, I have a whole sponge in here that I broke off into the can, remember that? There's a whole sponge in there, soaking up my remainder of my stain. Damn, that stinks. Well, maybe I can pull that piece out with my fingers and use that sponge for the remainder of this. What do you guys think? I'm gonna get dirty, but definitely gonna get dirty, but there is a lot of stainer on this that dropped off in there. Just soaked up everything. Look at that. That was the popsicle stick that broke off on me last time I used a walnut. It was kind of annoying when that happened. There was a lot of stainer on this, wasn't there? Look how dark that got. Oh yes. This door's gonna look nice when it's done. The door is what's gonna make the entire cabinet and countertop look really nice. And I'll just drop that back in there. So then I'll take this one and we'll smooth it out with this one. Oh yes. And I love my cutting board. Make lots of good food on it. Fresh food. Out in the middle of nowhere. Look at that. Now that looks professionally done, and even though it wasn't. That looks amazing. Now it's got to dry and hopefully it doesn't rain. Oh, where am I going to put it? Suppose I could lean it up against that cabinet over there. And this is going to have to drip off overnight and let gravity do its thing. I'm going to put it right here in the corner. Look at that. That is beautiful. That is what you call a beautiful piece of wood right there. That is going to be a beautiful barn door sliding cabinet when I'm done with it. I'll show you guys exactly where that's going to go after I put this stuff away and take these gloves off. I'll just drop that down there. I have like probably a drop worth of walnut in here, so I'll go ahead and keep it, and I'll seal the cap of this off just in case I need to touch something up in my slab a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna have to wipe this off, obviously. All right, that should be good. Let's take these gloves off. Pretty sure I could just rinse these gloves off in the sink and the stainer will come off. Actually, you know what? Give me 1 second. Alright, I think that will help a little bit. Okay. I'll put these here. Actually, just leave this out overnight. Fuck. Yeah. Get this off my fingers without getting stainer on my hand. That shit does not come off easily. I do have another set of those gloves though. Alright, so let me grab my vape. Need some nicotine after all that. Look, I just stained all of that, and how long have I been live for? Anybody know how long I've been live for? An hour. Took me an hour to do those 4 gigantic pieces, the 1 trim piece, and then front, back, and sides of the doors and the cutting board. All right. So check this out. So right here, I don't know if you guys can see it or not. I just added this in today. I'm letting it cure overnight. I'm just going to leave the clamps on there. But the sliding track for the barn doors goes on here. It's 4 feet, so it's within the length of the cabinet. And there's only 1 track for 1 door. That door is going to end up going long ways, but it's going to be dropped down. So the track will be here, set to whatever level I need it to be, and then the door will slide on the track probably this way, I'm guessing, because that's why I can't really do 2 doors, because there's not enough room to fit 2 doors to slide either which way, because I can't really go that way with it and I can't go that way with it, so I can only do 1 door. So this door will slide out in front of the kitchen sink, and then when that's open, I'll be able to pull this out and use the toilet, or use get to the shelves that I'm gonna have on the side of the toilet. On that side, there's gonna be shelves I'm putting in, just with that wood. And those shelves are going to have all my cleaning stuff. So stuff I would use to clean the windows, bleach, spray bottles, wet wipes, dude wipes, toilet wipes to use that are flushable for the toilet. All that's going to be in the shelves under there. I figured that's a good place to put it. And then I'm thinking, depending on what kind of space I have, I'll probably mount the toilet paper roll somewhere up under here on this bar. I have a little toilet paper roll, so when this slides out and I sit on it, you know, facing this way, I can just grab the toilet paper on the wall right there on the inside of the cabinet. And then on this side over here, it's going to be the same thing, how that panel comes in. Like I said, I'm not putting it up yet till we install the sink, whatever sink I go with. But anyways, here, the little pocket that's going to be open, I'm thinking about doing a black curtain that will be on the same track as the door. So when I open the door, just slide the curtain down and that will slide the door down. And then when the door's shut, curtain will be here and it'll cover the sink area. Which curtain would definitely make it a lot easier to pull things in and out, like the tanks and the water and all that stuff. Access my plumbing a little bit easier, so I think that will be nice. I haven't decided yet with the desk what I'm doing inside the desk, because right now it's just, you know, there's no shelves or anything, but there's definitely room to put my legs when I have the chair in here. But what I'm waiting for is I gotta get the PlayStation 5 Pro desk mount, because I got to screw it into the desk and I don't know where I'm doing that yet. That's what I'm saying, like I can't finish things if I don't have the shit to put in, because I don't know. You can't really tell that well just by looking at a picture on Amazon if it's gonna fit or not, or if you got to change something. But what you don't want to do is spend all that time and material building shelves in and then end up having to move the shelves to the other side, because whatever that PlayStation 5 mount won't fit on that side because it doesn't have enough space, that sort of thing. Just kind of a pain in the ass. But I'm getting that from the TikTok store. They got a PlayStation 5 under desk mount that screws in, or it clamps for one. But look at the front of the desk. Look at this. I did this last week. I even cut the bottom trim piece down there. That looks nice. Here, hold on, let me turn the flashlight on. I did like the front trim. That looks nice. So the shoe holder thing that I have ordered is going here. One of them's going here. And depending if the other one fits or not, the other one will go here. If it doesn't fit, then guess what? It's not going in my van. But they sell the mini shoe holder things that individually they will fit here, so I'll buy those separately. But I know the big one that could fit 4 shoes will go here. But I'll probably only use it for 2 pairs of shoes, and then the top part will be a pocket for Valentina's leash, her poop bag thingies, because I got a bunch of those. You know, maybe an accessible thing of dog treats, flashlights, batteries, whatever I need will be in there. So I'll have a little storage pocket. Ah, fuck, I knew I was forgetting something this week. I meant to grab white paint so I could rip these off and spray paint the doors. I knew I was forgetting something. Couldn't quite figure it out, but that's because I had to buy that at the auto parts store. That's fine, I'll get it next week. Because I did this door, and this door came out really nice. Look how white that is. I also did all this back here. And then I did the insides. I didn't just do the door, but I went inside and sprayed all this out, and that looks really nice. I did this side inside. Look how white that is. So I just gotta finish these doors up. And I'm getting rid of this ugly black paneling. Like, honestly, the doors just bare bones look better than with the black. But I'm going to try and build, probably with Gerald's help, a panel piece that goes over this door, where I'm using gun stock stained pieces of the wood cut to fit on a piece of paneling that fits right in there, so the door will have paneling on it. I got so many, look at all these scrap pieces of paneling I got in here. I don't know if you'll be able to see them because everything's kind of covered right now, but down in here I got all these extra scrap pieces of paneling. There's more back there. There's pieces shoved in between there. There's a bunch of pieces laying on top. There's all these pieces. There's those pieces. There's more pieces over there. And then I got a bunch of pieces in my van. So I have all this scrap paneling I got to use. I figure I could probably use it for the doors. And what we'll do is we'll just take the jigsaw and cut out where the handle's supposed to go in case I put the handle back in there. The back doors, though, I don't really need a handle on the inside. I'm not really going in and out because I got the bed in the way. So it'd be kind of tough to get out this door. But the side doors will have a handle. The front doors will have handles. I'd rather just seal it up and insulate it. That's what I'd rather do. Varnish, these are just different words for the same thing. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I think everything's turning out really nice. So these, I like how these are coming out. They're not dry yet, but they're more than likely going to look slightly lighter than that tomorrow. And then this over here, this is my favorite. I'm kind of envious of how dark this turned out because I used way more stainer. How much darker this looks than the countertop I did, but oh well. At least the door will look a little bit different, you know? Slightly different. But yes. I don't have much left to do in here, man. I just got to order, like I said, some things off of Amazon to finish some projects up, but so I'm thinking I definitely could fit a 5-gallon freshwater drum tank in there, you know, build a couple more pieces of 2x4 on the bottom, and then just build up, level up as high as I need to go until the nozzle of the 5-gallon container is peeking through the top of the cabinet slightly, the hole I cut, and then you drop the faucet in over top so you don't see the neck of the container, you just see the faucet coming out. And then basically just get some heavy duty latch or whatever that goes around the center of the container, and then I would bolt it to the frame of the cabinet, and then you would just unlatch that when you want to pull that out to refill it. So that's what I'm thinking as a backup plan in case the other sink idea doesn't work. Because the sink idea is great. I love that sink, but if it doesn't fit, then I feel like I have a solid backup plan, and the backup plan is $150 cheaper than the original plan. And it still will be the same. I'll have a sink still that drains. The only difference is the water won't be coming from back there anymore. So I won't have to, that's the other thing too, I won't have to run water lines and plumbing to up here because the plumbing will just drop into the container and suck it out and then straight into a gray water tank. And then back here, here's the thing, if I do the backup water plan, I can completely get rid of this water tank, this 30-gallon water tank. I can rip it out of here, tear it up, turn it into storage, and have way more storage space. And my van is 30 gallons lighter than it was before because I'm only using 5 gallons up front. Or B, I use this entire 30-gallon water tank as an emergency bag of water, and also have it coming to back here where I'll have a mounted shower hose on a water pump so I could take showers. So there's my two choices. Oh, the power. The shore power unit. So basically, from the outside of the van, there's the power cable, and it's plugged in over here. So this is where I plug in at from outside of the van. And then this, when you're not using it, this just goes back in. And when you're using it, you just plug in your power cable, and it goes into the van, so you're not running cables through your doors or windows. But I'll show you guys the battery system real quick. Give me 1 second. So the battery's been consistently running with the fan in there for about 4.5 hours, maybe. So this has been running for about 4 hours. We'll just say 4 hours. It's at 63%. It's still saying I have 7.1 hours of battery remaining. It's running at 120 watts. It was charging my phone here and my flashlight. Those are now fully charged, so that's shut off. But right now it is powering this humongous fan right here, and you can hear how loud it's coming out. It's at its highest setting, and I'll show you guys. So when I turn it down to the lowest setting, you can see the wattage changed to 67, 66 watts. And then when I turn it back up again, it'll go back up to 120. There it goes, jump back up. But that is really good for a battery. Look at that. Just by turning the fan down to the lowest setting, which this is a really good fan, so you can feel a lot coming out at the lowest setting. Look at that. My battery life just expanded to 12.9 hours of battery remaining. And keep in mind, it's already been running at the highest setting for at least 2 of the hours. And had it just only been running at this setting, it would have been good for, I think it said like the lowest setting was like around 25 hours or something like that, which is an entire day on one charge. But you can see on the inside here, god damn it, forgot that cable's not long. But you can see up here, this is pretty cool. So these are the individual batteries that are interchangeable. Now watch this. So I have the fan running, right? Watch, I pull one of these out while it's in use. Look at that. Let's just pull it out of there. It is still running that fan right now on one battery. Now it's half power. It is only half power, but I can even turn this to full strength. And even with the one battery in there, I still have roughly, we'll see, 3.5 hours left remaining. And we'll go ahead and stick this back in here. So we're testing this out tonight, this fan. So we'll put that back in. So we got both batteries in right now. And you can see the time on the highest setting just went down. So I'm going to turn it to the medium setting. Now it's running at 83 watts. The time should jump back up there to roughly 9 hours. So 10 hours of battery remaining. I'll go ahead and shut this. So all this came out really good. Look at that. That is a gorgeous Bluetti system. That is the van right now. This is the sole power system of my camper van. This is what I'm testing out tomorrow when I go camping. So what I'll do is whenever I get done testing it, got my power cable, I'll plug it right into the wall. And at 0%, I'm not going to let this go to 0% because it's not good to do that to the battery. I'll let it go to about 40%. But from 0% to 100% in turbo charging mode, it only takes it an hour to charge to 100%. 1 hour, that's it. In standard mode, it's about an hour and a half. But Valentina, come here. Where are you? You laying down? Come here. Here's Valentina. She's hanging out all day, enjoying the nice cool air in here because it's a little hot outside. I'm gonna go out and go potty. Watch your head. Oh, there's a kitten. What you doing, kitten? All right, come on, Valentina. Go potty. Hey, what's up, Midlife? Nice to see you again. But yeah, I'd say I'm pretty solid on my battery system, except for the air conditioning unit, because obviously that is going to require, that can run the AC unit, but the battery capacity is only good for about a couple of hours of running it on a full charge. So we'll see. Give me 1 second, guys, and I will be right back. I got a call coming in on my other phone. 1 second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so anyways, the power system in the back, I'm gonna, like I showed you guys earlier on my live, I'm going with 4 Renogy batteries, 200 watt battery, or 200 amp hour batteries a piece. And what that will do is that will give me plenty of power with the 3000 watt power inverter I currently have in my van. That plus those 4 batteries will run my air conditioning unit on full power for roughly 8 to 9 hours it comes out to, which is all you need in a day. Like, you mostly just need it during the daytime. I'm up north, so every single night, even summer nights, the temperature gets down in the low 60s. So all you need is a fan in the window or near the window, or run the exhaust fan up there. It'll pull in cool enough air to make it feel like you have the AC running. I mean, I was surviving, you know, in the RV during the summer hours at night without an air conditioning, because I would never really run at night the RV air conditioning unit because it uses way too much propane. So since I got that little air conditioning unit off of TikTok, it's been nice to have at night. Doesn't use a lot of power, and it keeps it nice and cold in there at night. So it is nice. If you can do it and have it, I will do it, because I like it cold at night. I don't really sleep that well if it's too hot. Like, if it's above 72 degrees, I can't really sleep. But anyways, it's coming out nice. I'm pretty much not doing anything else today because, like I said, I'm letting these all dry overnight. I'm gonna let those seal up, see how those come out, and then tomorrow Gerald will be here, and we got a few things we're doing. Gerald is going to cut for me. I don't know if you could see right here where the panel is, you know, that gap in between the metal wall and the wood wall. He's cutting a trim piece all the way down that will seal that into place. And he's doing the same thing back there, and then on the other side of the panels on that side. And then he's cutting my trim piece for around the window back there, finishing that up. And then he's also potentially going to help cut a couple trim pieces around the exhaust fan and the roof while he's here. Or we might just wait till I'm ready to put the roof panels in. But anyways, that's what's happening tomorrow. And then I'm going to clean the van up, vacuum it out, wipe everything down real well, get my stuff in here, and I'm gonna go camping. I'll be putting an air mattress in the bed so I'll have something comfortable to lay on. Not bringing Valentina tomorrow. Like I said, I just want to test the space out to see what it's like for me. And then I'll take her on a separate camping trip probably in a week or so, just for a night, or maybe one of the nights after work or something. I'll come pick her up and we'll go somewhere for the night. But yeah, the first one I just want to have, you know, check it out for myself and not have to have her with me. So we'll see how it works out. But it looks like I'm thinking that this, so if I get those pull-out storage closed containers, like the narrow ones, I don't know if they're going to fit long ways. They might be a little bit longer than this. We'll have to see. If they are, in worst case scenario, I think I have enough space to do them side by side. So I could do one in like this, and then I could do the other one on the other side, and then this side would just be like my tools, things like my jumper cables, first aid kit, fire extinguisher. I am ordering on Amazon a powered hydraulic car lift, like to lift my car up to change a tire, which by the way I can power on powerlifting mode on my Bluetti system easily. But worst case scenario, if those things are a little bit too tall for this, all I have to do is unscrew this piece of wood right here and then cut this down however much I need to cut it down, because I can come about halfway with this and it won't, the water tank sits pretty low, so I can come down quite a bit and then just pop this down however much I need to fit those containers in, because I know I have enough space inside. I know I have enough headspace for it. It's just the trim piece, and then I'll have to do the same thing on the other side. So we'll see how it turns out when I get those in Amazon. Like I said, you never know when you order shit on Amazon. Half the time you never know the genuine size of what it's going to be. Like it might say 14 inches or whatever, and yeah, you know what that is, but some items don't even tell you how big something is. They just show pictures a lot of times, and the diagrams are usually off. So we'll see how big they are. But I got all this space right in here for storage. I mean, look at all that space. So there's got to be something I can put in there. You know, cut this overhang piece off so I can access this area easier. But I'm thinking in this space right here, if I end up getting, I'm buying a one wheel. I was going to do an electric scooter, but I'm just going to go with a one wheel. I'm pretty certain if I cut this down and if I cut this water tank thing down, should be able to fit a one wheel on the side of the bed there. Or it can go right in the middle. We'll see. Hold on 1 second, guys. Alright, I had to check my foam percentage there. I think I'm at 50%. That's what I thought. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna get a little one wheel, so that way, for example, if I want to go kayaking, whitewater kayaking, I'll be able to go drop my kayak off at the top of the river, and then basically, or vice versa, and then go park where I'm planning on getting out, and then one wheel back to the kayak, tie up the one wheel, then kayak down, get my van, put the kayak on the van, and then drive back up and go pick my one wheel up. That's kind of what my plan is, because I'm going to be doing a lot of river kayaking where I either it's whitewater or just like a strong current to pull me down the river, and I'm going to need some kind of wheels other than the van to get around, because even if I'm at a campsite and a mile down the road is the store, I may not want to have to pick everything up and move my whole house to go grocery shopping for a couple items. I could just jump on my one wheel and scooch on up down the road and go get what I need to get. So also the one wheel is the smallest possible thing that I can get with a wheel on it is a singular wheel, but it works. You just it'll charge right up on my Bluetti system perfectly fine, which will end up being solar power fed actually. But those little handheld electrical scooters, they do collapse, but I don't think lengthwise I have the space. I'll end up sticking out somewhere. I don't think it would fit back there either. And they're really heavy. Like, they're crazy heavy because of the batteries in them. They're basically almost as heavy as my battery system. So, yeah, we're going to be one wheeling it most of the time. Also, the one wheels are a lot more fun to cruise around on anyways than a scooter. You feel like you're on a hovercraft / skateboard. That's the best way to describe it. And they can go pretty quick too, and they can go quick up hills. So that will be awesome. But I gotta make sure I have space in here for stuff like that. I don't want anything hanging out up front. I don't want any extra added clutter up front here. I want everything to have a place, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and this space in here I can utilize. Like, I got a battery in there. That's how big the space is. I got an entire car battery right there. I got that in here, by the way, in case my battery ever died up front. That's charged up, so I can jump my van with that or the Bluetti system. Either one, I can jump my van. But that would be easier to carry up there to jump the van. Not saying I just got a brand new battery, but had to find a use for it, and that's what I'm using it for. An extra battery. Never know, I might leave a light on that doesn't shut off or something and come out to a dead battery. All this can go in the trash. Start getting some of this stuff out of here. Tomorrow night, I will be out camping by now. We'll be out camping. Well, I will be. So I'm not going to be live streaming from my camp spot, obviously, because for one, I want to remain discreet. I don't want to give up all my spots. And then B, I'm not going to have phone service. So I won't be able to do a live game stream or anything. So I'll just be gaming on whatever I got downloaded to my gaming console, which is about 50% of the games that I have I can run on there. But I'll be filming content. I'll be recording and getting some cool camera angles, and also filming some nice scenery from the drive to and from the camp spot. And I'll be making a nice video for all of you. I've been testing some stuff out when I made my video the other night. It wasn't really much. I didn't really do anything crazy other than game. I will be doing other things on this camping trip. Might go hiking too. Like I said, it's going to be beautiful out. It is going to be beautiful out tomorrow. The high of 69 degrees during the day and low of 54 degrees. So you figure it is going to be very nice out. Oh shit. I grabbed my phone. Okay, I did. I'll give you guys a last look of the stuff before I end the live. So there is the trim piece. It looks like it's coming out really nice. It's kind of dark now. But the gun stock looks really nice. I like that light. Wanted it light on the ceiling. And then, of course, the countertop here is beautiful. Look how gorgeous this is. Look how gorgeous. I love it. I love it long time. But anyways, guys, if you are into police POV body cam style shooter games, tune into my gaming stream tonight. I'm playing the brand new game that just dropped 5 days ago called Ready or Not on the PlayStation 5 Pro with the best graphics. It is not a typical run and gun shooter game. There's strategy, and so you don't die, because you act as a SWAT team commander and have protocols and all sorts of stuff, and real world weapons too, which is pretty cool. But anyways, if you're into that sort of thing, tune in. And then who knows, maybe after that I'll do a MLB The Show stream. I got the day off tomorrow, so I can sleep in a little, stay up late, play hard. All right, guys, hope you have a good night. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to leave a like on the video. And also, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please, it will help me out in the long run. Subscribe, it's free to do. Thanks again, everybody, for your support, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace. Well, maybe in a second. I gotta end the stream, and I can't reach the button until I slide this over. All right, good night, everybody.